You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
Come fly with me.
Welcome back
Let's
to
fly,
Where You
let's
Live
fly
with
away.
Gene and Tony. It's a great day. We're glad to have you with us. We are broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. We're brought to you this hour by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. Before we dig into our next story, I'd like to let our listeners know we've got a great resource available to you. We do a bi-monthly newsletter called What's New. And a lot of the topics we cover on the show are covered in further detail. We cover a lot of other additional topics. We've had guests who write for this newsletter, and currently there's a subscription of over 23,000. You'll find in this newsletter items where we hold our webinars. This last week we held a webinar online free of charge to those who were a part of the newsletter and signed up for it. We've got another one coming up this next Wednesday, and this is something, if you're in a homeowners association, you may not want to miss. It's called What Kind of Community Do We Want? We're going to be talking about what are the rules and regulations in a homeowners association? How should they be established so that they're fair, consistent, and enforceable? We're going to be talking about that, a lot of great ideas. Still time to sign up for that. All you need to do, give us a call during the week at New Concepts at 952-922-2500. Ask for Lori. She'll make sure that you start getting that subscription free. We can have one sent to you electronically, and you can sign up for that webinar coming up this next week. Well, let's get into our next story, Tony. This one says, this is from the Journal News from West Haverstraw, New York. Tensions flare at a homeowners meeting in wake of the West Haverstraw blast.
You know, when I first read that, I thought maybe they'd had a big kegger or something in the neighborhood.
No. This was not it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what ended up happening. There is a homeowners association. Interesting name. It's called, the meeting was at the Village Fairgrounds 2 Homeowners Association.
It still sounds like a party to me.
The Village Fairgrounds. I'm thinking in my mind, all the homeowners are ex-carnies and
Maybe.
Fairgrounds.
Maybe they have a lot of livestock.
Who knows?
Know.
Yeah. But an interesting name.
Yeah.
Probably they're by the fairgrounds, and that's why they.
Or it
they're
used
named.
to be the fairgrounds, and now it's been developed into
There you go.
housing.
But anyway, they had an issue. There was a home that there was an accident with the gas utility company, and their house blew up.
More than one home,
well,
actually.
this one, a homeowner in particular, it was decimated completely.
Leveled. Yeah.
The one next to it was condemned, and several others that were damaged. So
there was a natural gas explosion.
Natural gas,
not due to any of the homeowners.
No, not at all. And so, what a horrific thing. Now,
oh my Lord!
We're probably talking about, because they don't talk in this story about a master homeowner association policy and some of what's involved that way. Right. So, like you pointed out, we're probably looking at an association of single-family homes.
I think that was my
detached
impression. That was my impression.
And I think you're probably right with that. Anyway, the woman who had her home decimated completely, blown away, she is, we pick up the story again, and she's pointing her finger, her name is Nicole Hall, to the board of directors, and she said, "Did I elect you to sue me?" She said, "I have lawyer fees of over $4,000. She told the board. She said, "Why didn't you help me clean this up? I didn't blow up my house." And so the issue is, the homeowners association said, there was this horrific blast. I know that's terrible, but now it's been more than a month. There's a lot of debris that's still out there, and you homeowners not only her, but several others, you need to get that cleaned up.
Right.
Because we've got other homeowners in the association who are upset and are saying, hey, with all of this extra debris, this could be a health hazard. It could...
Safety, health, there may be children in the neighborhood, there may be exposed insulation, wiring, who knows what.
And so now the association has turned to fines, but upon closer look, you find out the association apparently had been trying to contact her and these others a number of times. And
Right.
I think the attorney for the association said over 15 times.
To the halls specifically. He said, I've sent letters and phone calls to your attorney, and I'm getting jerked around and screwed around. He's not getting any response.
So the association is upping some of the fees, and they're saying, we're passing this on to you because you're not responding.
Well, they filed a lawsuit, it
Yes.
sounds like.
And so the issue here is we've got an issue. Tensions have flared up. And once again, both parties are talking around the issues and not dealing with the very issues themselves.
If only we were there to explain these things to
give
them,
the common sense and wisdom
how
that
much
they need.
simpler the world would be.
It would be true.
Yeah.
But in this case, when we take a look at the situation, not necessary. All of this has been ramped up.
It seems
but
like
did
it.
not need to be.
Yeah, it seems like it. You know, honestly, this was a horrific accident, and I should mention that no one was seriously injured. It doesn't sound
Thank
like
God for
by
that.
some
Yes.
kind of miracle. But to me, this was a huge accident. This home was leveled, other homes condemned, and they gave them a month to clean up the debris. You know, I've been involved in some pretty major insurance claims before, and they can get really complicated and really entangled, especially when there's more than one entity involved. And I can see where a homeowner who doesn't do this every day for a living would get really bogged down in trying to get their insurance claim through.
So we could be dealing with an issue where homeowners are just really dealing with their own claim instead of turning it over to a professional.
That could be.
The other thing, though, that is not setting with me, and even though there are these issues, insurance companies do allow for emergency work to take place.
That's true.
When not to act could cause further damage to property or to persons.
Right, that's right.
And we certainly have that here with decimated homes, things blown up, debris
but honest
all
to
around.
Pete, Gene, not everybody knows that. Not every homeowner knows that they can take emergency immediate action before getting permission from their insurance company.
Yes, and so again, we don't know the whole story. But if the homeowner is involved, and I've got to believe that they're involved
Right.
with what they're doing, they've got to understand that they've got to take the responsibility
Yes.
for and the liability that goes along with it. The part that bothers me in this whole story was she said, "I didn't elect you to sue me." She turns to the board and she says, "Why didn't you help me clean up? I didn't blow up my house." Well, guess what, Nicole? The board didn't blow up your house either. Why is it?
That's why you have insurance, is it? Isn't
yes.
it? Yeah.
Why do we always turn to government, whether that be the homeowners association, the city,
or the US
state,
government.
or the U.S. federal government, and say,
Yeah.
"Why didn't you do this? Shouldn't
Why didn't you take care of me?"
People, what kind of government is it that you actually want? Do you want a nanny state where everybody takes care of everything for you, or do you believe?
Because people who take care of things for you have their own rules and regulations, and they're going to demand something from you.
Yes, they
just
do.
Just like government does.
But when you talk about people owning homes, most people would be very quick to say, you know, I'm the king or queen of my own castle,
Yep.
and this is mine. How dare you tell me what to do in my place, especially in a homeowners association,
right?
right?
That's right. We hear that
Do we
a
hear
lot.
that?
Yes, we
well,
do.
if this is your kingdom, your little fiefdom,
Yes.
then you ought to know what is.
You also need to take care of the responsibilities and the problems.
Yes. Now, there were a bunch of issues here that I don't think have been addressed. And
There's more, you think?
there's a lot more here that I think I'd like us to point out, but I know we need to take a break right now. So let's do that. Folks, don't go away. We've got one more segment of Where You Live and the final conclusion to this story of the blast at West Haverstraw, New York. So don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.